Hi guys, so we are going back to a breeder that's local to me in Pittsburgh, only about 20-25 minutes away. We're getting some fish that we've been waiting for quite a while, and probably some other fish, and I'll show you his room while we're there as well, so get ready for a good video.
Alright guys, so if you did watch the last video, you'll recognise this tank, and today we're at John's Quality Cichlids, who mainly breeds these F1 Walteri. And as you can see, he's got a decent amount of fry right now. I think he's got 12 in that box, about 17 in the next, and then he's got some more Walteri tumbling. And here's the male that he's had to separate because he wants to chill out the females in the remainder of the tank for a few days. But just watch this male here. His fin's absolutely crazy. And after seeing this guy, you'll realise why John decided to call his little side business John's Quality Cichlids, because everything that he breeds is quality, and he really takes pride in that, which is awesome for me as a buyer, and indeed anyone else that may want to buy any of his fish in the future.
You can see how his tail fin tips are going to be long and flowing.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah, that top one is crazy.
This was the brother to yours.
Yeah.
Remember how they were side by side, and I gave you first choice?
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess I chose the wrong one, but I'm still happy with mine, although that dude is pretty sick. Here, I'm sure you remember this one if you watched the last video, but this is John's wife's Otter Point, or Jacob Freibergi, however you want to say it, but this guy is by himself in a 37 gallon, I think, but look at him. That right there, guys, is a PetSmart fish. John's wife picked him out when they used to have a community tank, and this is what he turned into. I mean, the coloration, the finnage, really, really, really nice. And just goes to show you that you can sometimes get some studs at PetSmart or Petco or any of the big box stores. But now let's take a look in John's main room, where he's got a 20 gallon long, a 40 breeder, a 55, a 29 gallon, and this 30 gallon. And this thing is just full of a Lunacara Luanda, with a few young studs hiding in there as well. So next up, we've got a little holding tank that John is using for one of his other male Walteris, and as you can see, the fins on this guy aren't quite as long and elongated as the breeder, and he's also got some Synodonus catfish in there that he purchased from a local fish store a while back, and he's just basically growing them out. So this is just a holding tank for right now. I don't think he's too happy about what he's got going on in here, but every now and again as breeders you've got to have backups, and this is basically what this tank is. So to him, I think he sees it as wasted volume, but you've always got to have backups just in case anything goes wrong. Here in this 55, we have got a split gene Angara flametail group, and the males in here are stunning, especially this guy, who's got some pretty crazy finnage on him. And John actually travelled all the way to Ohio, which was a 4-hour drive, just to get this group. And if any of you are from around there, I'm sure you've heard of a breeder called Jerry Delaney, and this is where John got this group. He's currently got one fry from the group. They've not been breeding too successfully for him recently, but he's had them from when they were really, really small, and he's just started seeing a lot of growth and coloration in them. So hopefully these guys will get going from him soon, and I think his hope with these is to get some split gene albinos, which would be really, really cool. So here we have the father of all John's Luanda that you'd just seen in the first tank, and this guy is an absolute stud. Look at the fins on him. Madness. In the other half of the 40 gallon we've got nothing. John's just using that as a separation. And in the bottom 20 gallon he's got another F1 Walter Eye, who's just as stunning as the breeder male in the 75 gallon in my opinion. But this Luanda is actually part of Dave Hale's strain from Something Fishy, and I think that's why it's just so good looking. So a lot to think about for me with this little trip. I was coming to get a few fish, and you know how it goes, it changes when you get places and you see some nice fish. So here's John packing me up some fish, and we're going to get home and acclimate them.
So we're on our way back now. Spent a few hours at John's. Hooked me up, John, so appreciate that. Thanks a lot for the advice and all our good chats, and then obviously the fish as well. So heading back home now. Got a box and a bucket filled with goodies. So there they are. Let's get them home, get them acclimated, and then we'll show you them. We've got some nice ones.
So here we are at home after the 20-25 minute drive back, and we actually had to move the backup breeder male Blue Neon into one separated part of the 55, and as you can see we've got a few bags floating. Any guesses what we got? If you do, leave them in the comments. But the first group that we acclimated and put in their new home are some Alunicara Luanda, and then we've got some big boys for the 125. So let's check out the 125 first and the two fish that we got. The first one being a split gene Angara Flametail, and the second being John's former breeder male Luanda, and that guy's just a beast. So the Angara were part of John's group that he got from Jerry Delaney, and he decided he didn't want the male anymore, so I thought I'd take him for a show fish for the 125. And the Luanda, obviously John's former breeder male, he decided that he wants to concentrate on his Angara and his Walter Eye more, so he actually gave me this Luanda for free as part of business and for helping him and all that good stuff. So not sure what I've helped you with, John, but appreciate the gesture. He's gonna have a nice home, and maybe we'll even breed him again at some point once I get the Luanda that are purchased from him grown up, so he don't absolutely dominate the females. But there's the 125 looking quality, really happy with how it looks. And in the 33 now we've got the Luanda that we purchased from John. He gave us 1 or 2 freebies, and I also purchased another 8 in total, including 1 of the males that keeps hiding behind that sponge filter there, and the rest probably being females, although with the age it is difficult to tell. But hopefully I got a good number of females, and John seemed to be pretty confident in the females that he was choosing. So looking forward to breeding this line, and as you can see from their dad that's now in the 125, it's a pretty awesome strain. In the 55 we had to move the Blue Neon backup breeder male into part of the 55, but his coloration right now is just incredible. We've got the Walter Eye in the other half of the 20 gallon, and here is the fish that I've really been looking forward to having for a while, and these are the Walter Eye. So I got all 12 of the Walter Eye that were in the first breeder box that I showed in this video, and I cannot wait to get these grown out and see what I get. Hopefully I'll get 1 or 2 males and some females. I did get 12, so the likelihood of me getting a few males pretty high. But I want at least 5-6 females so then I can breed them in the future once I grow them out. And this is a group that is pretty high in demand right now, so I'm more than happy to have them, and I just really want to get them growing as quick as I can, so I can then get breeding them and selling them in the near future. So that is now the Walter tank. I've got 12 right there. I've got hopefully the future breeder male right there. His fins are really coming on, coloration's just looking sublime. We've then got the 55 beside it, which is full of blue neons. We've got the 125 show tank with the new Angara and Luanda in there, and then we've just got the Luandas that we've just bought today. I think we got 10 in total, and that's adding to the 2 that we already had. And then we've got 6 or 7 Jallow reefs in there as well. I'll probably just end up growing out the Jallow reefs, but to end this video, let's take a look at the 125 gallon show tank in all its glory with the split gene Angara and Luanda in there as well. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, make sure you leave a comment down below, leave us a like, and let me know what you think to the new pickups and the new potential groups, being the Walteri and the Luanda, to add to our blue neon breeding group setup. So pretty excited about it myself, and hopefully we'll get these guys growing and breeding pretty soon. That's all I've got for today's video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as we've got a lot of content coming soon, and we'll see you on the next one.